Let's do some
Spoiler alert!
Yes, we are going to spoil the movie The Gallows for
in
all
its
the people.
entirety.
In its entirety. We're going from beginning to middle to end. So if you want to see the movie, if you want to see the movie,
watch that. If you're at the movie, stop watching us. Yeah. You're being rude.
Stop watching this video right now if you want to see The Gallows. If not, continue watching.
You know how many times we had a phone go off in The Gallows? Twice. And it was annoying. It took everyone out of the scene. Mm-hmm. People were groaning the first time. People were done the second time.
I was done.
Bad to the Bone was the second ringtone. It wasn't even fun.
I didn't like that. Hello and welcome to a good rendition of, what do we gotta call this? Just sit down and talk with Grady and Sam.
About spooky stuff.
About spooky stuff.
Or movies.
We're gonna make the title card in now. Okay.
Ooh, that's an ugly title card.
Anyway, we're talking about the new movie that came out July 10th called The Gallows. Which is said to kind of be the new slasher. It was, in the trailers, it was kind of comparing this new guy, Charlie, to Jason and Freddy.
Freddy had his glove, Jason had his machete, Charlie has a noose, I think is what it was.
Yeah, it's pretty much JonTron. If you haven't seen the JonTron, Freddy has the machete. Jason has the machete.
Wonderful.
Freddy has the creepy claw hand. Charlie, he's got his noose. That's it.
Got a piece of rope.
He's got a piece of rope.
Got a lot of rope.
Alright, so let's talk about the actual plot line of the film.
Alright, let's get this out in the open right now.
Now did
you like the movie?
Okay. Did I like the movie?
Just yes and no.
I kind of liked it. I did like it.
Okay.
You?
Meh. But we can get into that later.
We'll get into
Let's
that.
talk plot.
Okay, so the plot line is, it starts out, you got your like 4 characters set up immediately. You get like a kind of douchebag guy named Ryan. We'll show like pictures.
Is he Ryan? I don't know. I don't remember names.
I know his name was Ryan.
Okay, Ryan.
His name was Ryan. He was kind of like the douche guy. If you want to look at it like Cabin Fever, he was the douchebag guy.
Yeah, he was. Was it Thor in Cabin Fever?
Yeah, Thor was Cabin Fever.
Okay, so he was Thor.
You have him. You've got his girlfriend. I think her name was Cassie. She was the only one whose name I just don't remember.
Casey, something with a C or a K.
Cassandra.
She'll get mad if you say it wrong.
Yeah, so we'll call her Cassie from now on because
why not? Cassie it is.
So Cassie was kind of the douche's girlfriend. I keep saying douche. I'm sorry. Was kind of the jerk's girlfriend, and she was like I don't know.
Cried a lot.
She cried a lot is what it was.
She was the
hot girl.
Helpless hot girl.
The helpless hot girl of the bunch.
Danger-prone Daphne.
Okay. Then you have Reese. It was Ryan and Reese because I thought that was cool that their names start with R.
Okay, cool.
You had Reese, the guy from Malcolm in the Middle. But
not the guy from Malcolm in the Middle.
Not the guy from
I don't know who any of these
It's someone else. He was the guy who was the ex-football player who just wanted to get close to someone who was in the theater.
He's a football player, Trey Bolton.
Yeah, pretty much. He was like, yeah, I'm done football. I want to get in the theater and get close to this girl. And the girl he wanted to get close to was named Pfeiffer. And
Michelle Pfeiffer?
Michelle Pfeiffer. No.
Pfeiffer. Just Pfeiffer.
Just Pfeiffer. But Pfeiffer was all the actor girl, kind of... how would you describe
she was
her?
supposed to be the plain silent girl.
Plain silent girl.
For some reason, they kept talking about how ugly theater kids are supposed to be, even though none of these people were unattractive or kids.
Or kids, yeah.
They were all 20-somethings in a nice high school setting. This all takes place at BHS. I don't remember what
Beatrice High School.
Beatrice High School, that's what it was. And Beatrice High School is notorious for a play they put on in 1993 called, guess what? The Gallows.
The Gallows.
We put the title of the movie in the movie. We're clever.
Because why not?
And so there was a kid named Charlie. And Charlie was an understudy for the main character of the play, whose name was Augustus?
Something
like that. Yeah. Augustus Gloop. And so the main Augustus Gloop couldn't do his job, and so he went and...
He backed out of the play.
And so Charlie steps up. He's going to be the new main guy.
He's the star of this play.
He's got it down. The play's going on. In our opening scene, we're watching a recording of the parents of Charlie watching the play. Mm-hmm. and a problem happens. A prop snafu, if you will.
Yes.
And Charlie is up on the gallows.
He's up on the gallows with the noose around his neck. And, like, they're reading off this one guy's up front of the stage reading off, reasons why he needs to die.
You're a jerk.
Yeah.
You're kind of not nice. You once kicked me in the shin. I didn't like that. Also, adultery was on there at the end, which I thought was weird. But
and now you must be hanged for your thing. And why is he spanking that? The gallows...
a plank. A plank breaks on the gallows.
And Charlie falls, and the noose grabs him and kills him.
And bye-bye, Charlie. Yes. Everyone freaks out. Camera drops.
Yep, camera drops.
And that's the setup for our main slasher baddie.
Yep, and that's pretty much saying how Charlie died, how Charlie came to be. Kind of like, how explaining Freddy Krueger came to be, where he was just, he was a child murderer and...
Or molester, depending on your version.
We're going with the original,
Alright.
Original 1984 version of the movie. He murdered children, not the 2010 where he molested them. Ew. And it's also like Jason, because, we're going to bring in Jason and Freddy a lot because that's what the trailer said. It was comparing Charlie to Jason and Freddy. And Jason was just a normal, kind of mentally disabled kid, and he was... I believe, according to Freddy, he drowned in the lake, and the camp counselors were having sex and doing drugs, and that's why he died. Yeah, so Charlie dies, and these 4 kids are set up, and then so what happens is, Reese is the main character of the play, and
he sucks.
He sucks horribly. So he's like he can't remember his lines. He can't project his voice.
Augustus, I love thou. Please don't go.
I love you too. I'm gonna burn this whole place to the ground. If you want to go off the space on this, I'm gonna hang all of the kids in the gallows.
Oh Lord, the gallows.
In the gallows. Okay, so all right. So after that, they Ryan is all like, yo, Reese, you suck. And Reese is like, I'm doing it because I want to kiss Pfeiffer.
Oh my God, you want to kiss Pfeiffer?
I just want to kiss her so badly.
I've got an idea.
What is that?
You're going to suck tomorrow.
What?
That's not my idea, that's just a fact.
Oh.
Now, we're going to go to the play.
Okay.
Because I found a door that doesn't lock.
Oh.
And we're going to forget about that later, but we found a door that doesn't lock. And we're going to go and we're going to trash the play. We're going to destroy the set so that way she's going to be all woo-hoo, going to be crying on you, and then you can hold her. It's going to be awesome.
And that's exactly what they do.
Kind of.
Ryan's kind of being a jerk and chasing around this one kid, and then he figures out that there was a door by the stage that leads outside, and it's just, the lock's broken. It just never locks. And
so he gets the bright idea, let's go trash the place.
Yeah, so they decided to trash the set to help out Reese.
Keanu Reeves.
They help out Reese, be like, we're just going to trash the set. And, they go in, Ryan goes to pick up Reese, and he comes in on an argument that him and his father are having. His father's like, you should keep playing football.
But Dad, I want to be in theater.
No, you need to play football.
But Dad, I don't like football. The helmet hurts my head.
The claw's gonna get you.
No, I don't
You're
like
scared of the claw.
No.
I'm gonna get you. You're scared of the
I don't want to be like Charlie. I don't want to be like you, Dad. I want to go sing. I mean, be in theater.
Okay.
He's Troy Bolton.
So they go to the school, and then Ryan, Cassie, and Reese start going in, and they start tearing up the place. Cassie's throwing light bulbs. Reese is unscrewing the stage. Ryan's just tipping stuff over.
He tips down 2 potted plants and a foam tree.
And that's it.
It was weird. He's like, yeah, we can't put this back together, man. We're too far gone. I tripped over 3 trees. It'll take at least 2 minutes to put back what we've done. You've got to screw a screw back in. I don't know how to turn that drill on to go in. I don't know how to take screws out. I don't know how to work the settings. We're done.
Actually, funny thing is, all they do with the gallows thing is just take out 1 screw, and then that just takes off the stairs leading up to the gallows. So they didn't really break much.
And then they took the noose off the gallows.
Yeah, that was it.
How did they get up there if the stairs were off?
I think he just hopped up and the noose was just like literally someone just threw it up there.
It was a very lazy noose.
Very lazy.
No one's gonna be hung today.
No one. And then he just pulls it down, and then like they hear something from outside, and then they go check it out.
Maybe it's Charlie.
Maybe it's Charlie. Nope, it's a Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer came in. She's like, Reese, I saw your car here. I was scared
of something. And so Reese tells her a lie. Hey, I came and did this for you because I don't have confidence and I want to learn the lines so that we can make sure we get this play. And Reese and what's her name? Cassidy, whatever her name is, they get in a fight, and then she goes, oh yeah, well we came here to trash the set for no real reason.
Yeah, they get into a fight, and Cassie explains to Pfeiffer they were there to destroy the set, and Pfeiffer of course runs off, and then they run onto the stage, and then weirdly enough, everything that they destroyed is just put back together.
And the noose is hung properly.
Ooh.
And then scary stuff happens, but you've seen the movie, so...
Yeah, scary stuff happens. They go, like for example, they go through this weird back area, and they find a static TV that's playing the clips of Charlie's death and like
news
other
footage
stuff,
on it.
news footage of everything.
Then people die.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. There's a strange woman who kept appearing. Like Ryan points this out. There's a strange woman who always came to watch the rehearsals, and she always sat in the back, and like they didn't really know who she was.
It turns out
she'll come into play later. Oh, actually,
they say she's the girlfriend of Charlie from 1993.
Yeah, because there's in the footage in this of the static TV. If we can find an image to show you what the scene looks like, on the static TV, they just randomly pops up the news footage, and it's the woman. They're like, oh, that must have been Charlie's girlfriend, because it says girlfriend of Charlie, or whatever.
And she has aged horribly. She looked exactly like she did in high school, and she looked like 40 then. It's really weird.
It was awful, but yeah. So and then like more creepy stuff happens, and then it shows the photo on the TV. It shows the photo of all the actors, and then Reese starts freaking out, and he just immediately grabs Ryan's camera
and runs for 5 minutes.
And he runs up to the front area, and he pulls out the photo, and he's like, "Oh, the guy who was the main lead." Who backed out and got Charlie killed was none other than
his father.
Bum,
bum, bum.
And that's pretty much all that was.
He flips the photo around, sees the signature of all the cast. He had gotten the photo out of the main school's trophy case, which they do point out in the movie, and I'm glad they did. That is a weird thing to just have there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little morbid.
His dad indirectly got Charlie killed.
Funny enough. Charlie was supposed to be the executioner.
Yeah, Charlie was supposed to be the executioner. And then when the guy who was the main backed out, Charlie was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be the main." So it explains it. Charlie was supposed to be the executioner.
Which explains his costume. The costume that Charlie wears to kill people is none other than the costume he made for the executioner role. Mm-hmm. He made it himself.
So more spooky stuff happens, and then Ryan is freaking out, and he sees an air vent that's like, oh, by the way, Charlie knows how to lock doors. That's why they couldn't leave the school, because all the doors were locked.
They're trying all the doors. These kids had the same weakness as the aliens from Signs.
Yeah.
They can't open doors.
They just can't.
The only doors that were unlocked were anything convenient to the plot.
Yeah.
So Charlie's guiding them around. Don't find the vent.
Charlie was just letting them, and then even the door that wouldn't that opened up all the time was locked, and that was the first freaky incident. But yeah, Ryan looks up and sees a vent.
Gasp.
He just sees a vent, and he's like, I'm going to climb that vent.
Don't climb that vent.
And I'm going to climb that, and I'm going to open up that vent and get outside.
Don't you climb that. Don't you open that vent and get outside.
So then he starts climbing a ladder, and at the same time, he's all like, Charlie, where are you, Charlie? Let's go to Candy Mountain, Charlie.
Can we make a point? If you're ever in a scary situation, don't do stupid stuff on a ladder. In real life, don't do stupid stuff on a ladder. Ladders are dangerous.
And of course, Charlie knocks him off the ladder.
We don't know that. Anything that happened to these kids prior to that was just them being stupid.
It was just them being stupid.
He could have just fallen off of that himself.
Mm-hmm.
Those kids could have just been hurting themselves that whole movie up until Charlie showed up, and I believe it.
He's dead. Yeah, so he falls off the ladder.
And breaks his leg.
And
shows it to us way too much.
And then Reese...
More water.
Reese, Pfeiffer run to try to get to the medical room, and of course it's locked. And then...
A door shuts behind them.
Cassie runs out too and starts screaming, and then the door shuts. And then inside it's... Ryan, and he's like pulling out his camera phone. He's like, "Oh my god, I got a night vision app," which is really dumb.
Is there a is that seriously a thing?
There needs to be. Though.
If there isn't, I would love. If there is, I'd love one. If there isn't,
there needs to be.
Then that's a weird plot hole in this movie, and we'll get back to that later.
But anyway, so he's running around he's sliding around, and then he pans over, and that's you see the first appearance of Charlie. He's just standing there. He's silhouetted. He's got the noose in his hand. He's got his old-fashioned clothes, and then Ryan freaks out a lot more, and eventually Ryan dies. Ryan gets caught.
Ryan dies. His girlfriend cries in the corner and dies. Then it's just our romantic love interest running and running and running.
And running and running.
And then they're almost out. They're good. Except they have to cross the stage.
Ooh.
The door's open. They can see straight out. A classic slasher taunt. So they book it.
They book it. But then when Reese gets outside, he's like, "Oh God, we made it!" And he turns around. Pfeiffer's not there.
I'm inside.
Pfeiffer's inside. She's on the stage, kneeling down. And so he runs, of course, because he wants to be with her. He runs back in.
Should have left her.
Should have left her, but he runs back in, and she's laying down on the stage, and he comes up to her. And spotlight comes right on them.
And what are they in the perfect pose for?
They're in the perfect pose
for the end of the play.
The end of the play, where he tells her that Charlie's coming for him, and they recite the lines
that she'll be safe, that they're only coming for him, and he knows that she'll finally be safe, and it does. A shot that I thought was pretty cool where they do the shot from the beginning of the film where from the sound booth box, the jerk guy who's dead now is filming his friend. They cut back to that shot, but the right half of the stage is completely blacked out. Suddenly, another light, there's the gallows.
There's the gallows.
He knows what he has to do.
He walks up to the gallows, puts the noose around his neck, hands behind his back, and then, strangely enough, Pfeiffer gets up and starts continuously reciting, the ending. She's like, "Augustus, I will miss you."
Stop calling me Augustus.
Yeah, he was like,
"Get me down from here."
"I will miss you. Oh, I'm going to miss you."
Stop calling me Augustus.
I'm going to miss you.
The ghost of Charlie appears and starts tying his hands.
You start seeing Charlie tying his hands together, tightening the noose.
"Don't let him do this," he's screaming. He's freaking out. She keeps going.
And then, bam.
He's gone.
Charlie executes him like how it was supposed to be.
He's just hanging there. The girl stops. She looks towards the audience and takes a bow.
But not only does she take a bow, Charlie joins her and takes a bow.
They bow.
They bow. And you start hearing clapping from the audience. And then the lights come up, and then you look out and you see, oh, it's Charlie's girlfriend, the woman who was always there.
And you find out, also Pfeiffer's mother.
So Charlie's girlfriend gave birth to Pfeiffer, and together they finished Charlie's play finally. They gave the role that he wanted.
Got the end. His spirit is at peace. Yeah. Or so we think.
So, of course, Pfeiffer's wanted for murder.
There are dead kids everywhere in this school.
Yeah. So, and then the police come in, and they just find Pfeiffer and her mother just sitting on their bed.
Just watching the footage, brushing hair.
Mother's brushing the daughter's hair, and one police officer's like, "Yeah, 10-4, I need you in here right now." And of course, and then stuff, and he's like, "Hey, they're watching the footage of Charlie." And
he shouldn't say that name.
And he turns back at them. Yeah, they shouldn't say that name. And then he looks down the hallway, and he sees his partner just getting hung with a noose. And he's like, "Oh, God." And he turns around, and Charlie's the last thing you see, and Charlie kills him.
And that's a review on the movie you either haven't seen or just saw.
Either way, that's pretty much the movie.
That's Charlie.
So, now let's actually get to the review part. We can put a little Slater here. Review.
All right, if you skip to this part, and we'll put a skip button
we'll
for
do a
those
skip
of you who
button.
saw the movie. Welcome back to Something About Geek Stuff. We're still here. All right, so Grady, what did you like about this movie? If you had to give me a bullet list of your favorite things, what would it be?
I'll give you some pros and cons.
We'll get to cons in a minute. We'll do pros first.
Pros first, yeah. Pros, I would say, it was really well done. Like, the layout of the whole film, I felt, was pretty good. There were some parts that were kind of iffy in some places, but overall, like, the setups, the executions. The executions were really, really well done.
Killer pun.
Mm-hmm. And I like...
Killer pun.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It was just a really well done film. And Charlie was genuinely creepy. Charlie was genuinely terrifying.
I agree. It was a fun journey that we were taking on. It was a very clear start and stop narrative, which is a point we will get to when I do my pros list about these found footage films.
Do your foot.
Okay, well, out of all the found footage films I've seen, from Blair Witch Project to Paranormal Activity to that weird one about the moon, Apollo 13 or whatever it was, that movie.
I don't remember.
Not the Tom Hanks one, the one with the weird moon rocks. Not the point. That movie was horrible. Out of all the found footage films, this one was by far my favorite. But that's like saying being shot 5 times. Shot number 3. Really?
Really?
Big fan of shot number 3. I don't particularly like found footage films. I don't think it's something that should be continued on. And I would have much rather have seen this in a classic horror style.
I would have too.
But for found footage style, if we have to subscribe to that, if that's the trend of the time, it was definitely, like you said, great storyline. It had a clear objective, point A to point B. Mm-hmm. And that's something that we've needed back in horror movies for a long time. So that, as well as, even though it was formulaic, even though we had the same characters we always have, it was the same setup, but it was done in a way that I was like, I can see what's coming. With these horror movies, you can, but I appreciate the way you're doing it. When we get to that final scene, not the final cop scene, which will be on a different list of mine, not the pros list, we have them getting back into their poses, and I realize, oh, they're in the same pose. I said to you in the theater, they're getting in the same pose, and then they roll with that, and that was some great subtlety that I liked that they developed on.
Yeah.
And this movie was one of those that didn't just do jump scares. It had jump scares, but it wasn't dependent on it. It went back to the old tropes of the slasher films, where it's, oh, we get to see the killer for once. It's not, oh, it's a figment that we're never going to see until Paranormal Activity 5, which the preview didn't look very good for that. But the cinematography on it was great. I love some of the transition shots they do from device to device. The ride along, I enjoyed the ride along, which is not something I can say for any found footage film I've seen before. And for it to be as formulaic as it was, it definitely knew what it was wanting to be, and it took from its predecessors and did it very well.
I think that's pretty... For those of you who don't know, a found footage film is typically pretty much self-explanatory. It's as if I took this camera and just the entire time I just showed you my day through this footage. Like, that's what it's supposed to simulate, is like someone literally just found the footage.
It's originally something that's supposed to be seen by, like, oh, I found this VHS tape in a box in my grandma's attic, and then we look and it's footage from the previous owner, and the house is haunted. And it's their old home movies, and so I'm going to edit those together and make it a movie.
That's found footage film. But anyway,
so
cons.
You want to go first?
Cons of it, again, found footage films are just dumb. They don't need to be. I would have loved to see Charlie as an actual cinematic quality of slasher films, like, show him.
And you're a big fan of slasher films. You've seen
slasher
all of
films.
them.
I've seen all of the Friday the 13th. I've seen all of the Texas. I've seen all of Nightmare
I've
on
seen
Elm
all of
Street.
Texas.
I've seen all of Texas. It's not that fun. I never want to go to Texas.
Our apologies to Texas.
And I've seen the first 4 Michael Myers films, Halloween films. It's just Charlie. It's just as cons of the movie, I say don't do found footage films. They don't like if you're going for a slasher, which is what the previews for the movie was trying to say. He was going to be the new
It was
slasher.
blatantly presenting it as the next slasher.
The next slasher.
And I guess the found footage film is them trying to modernize it. Like, that's how horror is now. I don't want that to be how horror is now.
That's not how horror
Hollywood,
is.
please stop making found footage films.
They're not fun.
They're cheap to make, but they're just cheap to watch. They're not fun.
I don't want to look at someone's feet the whole time.
And there was a shot that was just feet in this movie. Mm-hmm. And I thought, man, these kids are standing close together. For these kids to not like each other at all, they are right up on each other.
Uh-huh. But that's my biggest gripe, is the fact that it was a found footage film. I don't see Charlie going any further than the first movie. Like, Jason, part 1, again, spoilers, part 1...
It's been out for years.
Yeah, it's been out since 1980.
It's older than we are.
Yeah, it's
Lord.
30 years, and I've seen it. Part 1, turns out it's Jason's mom, and then when Jason's mom gets killed, it turns out, oh, Jason was alive the whole time. So Jason gets mad and continues to kill camp counselors. It's like that, and then part 3 came out where Jason finally gets his hockey mask and he's continuously killing. That can the fact that there's multiple camp counselors coming in, the fact that this adventure can continue going, because everyone just wants to have sex at Camp Crystal Lake after the first incident, so why not? Let's just keep doing it. Same thing with Freddy. Freddy kills the kids that are the parents, or kills the kids of the parents, or kills the kids of the people who killed him.
What you're saying is it's a linear thing. It makes sense why it's happening.
Always gonna set it up to where it's gonna be happening. Michael Myers is weird so far because it's like, oh, he's got family, because that's what he's trying to kill. He's trying to kill his family because he's psychotic. He killed his sister in the first movie.
It happens.
And then he's like, oh, he's got a little sister now. Oh, he's got a cousin. Oh, he's got a uncle twice removed. He's got to go kill him too.
Hey, whatever works, man.
But the ending where Charlie finishes the play, that tells me, okay, Charlie's satisfied. Charlie can rest easy. He's got no other reason to kill.
And then we get a cheap jump scare at the end, which was one of my big gripes, that there's no reason for it. It was a cheap scare at the end for, oh, it's over. Or is it? Because if this makes money, we're going to make a sequel.
It's not right, because Charlie's soul should be at rest.
From a storytelling perspective, it didn't make any sense for there to be that last scene. Mm-hmm. If they had ended it with the applause of the audience, I think it would have been a perfect way to end it, because it started with the end of the play, it ends with the end of the play. The weird bit at the end was just, it didn't feel organic to it. It feels like something that someone tacked on for a cheap scare at the end.
Mm-hmm. Just to kind of say, yep, it's over. Or it's not over yet. But that's the thing. What reason does Charlie have to... Okay, what reason did Charlie have to kill in this movie?
He had the reason to kill because he never got to finish his play. He was put in this position by the father of the kid he's trying to kill. Mm-hmm. So he's trying to get his revenge by saying, hey, you took my life prematurely, I'm going to take your kid's life. Full circle.
But not only that, the father backed out of the play and got Charlie killed, and that stopped the play from ever happening. And it turns out, when you find out, oh, this kid's coming in, and Charlie's like, so you mean to tell me that the play the first time won't get finished, and I died because of it. Now your son's going to come in and ruin the play again to where that doesn't happen? No. That's not
Charlie wants to defend his play. He wants to see the end. He wants the applause that he never got.
That's exactly what he gets in the end. He gets his applause.
One slow clap of an applause.
And he even shows, Charlie's there. Charlie's holding Piper's hand. He bows. That's it. And then the next shot, he's gone. His soul's at rest.
He's a spirit at the end of it when he's hanging up. Oh, well, there you go. And when he's there at the end, he's tying him up. He's opaque. He's a see-through spirit, very clearly a a ghost. He's tying up our main character, and then he finds what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
He's good. He doesn't need to come back. I agree with you completely that he doesn't. There's no reason to have him join the ranks of the big slashers. And that was a big gripe with me. With a lot of the continuity was very plot convenient. This door that we previously said doesn't have a lock, that it's just broken.
Mm-hmm.
It suddenly can lock because the spirit wants it to. All the doors are locked, but only the ones that Charlie doesn't want you to open. Oh, the power's out, but only when a TV doesn't need to be on.
Yeah.
And I get possession, I get we can make our own rules because it's our ghost haunting everything. That's fine, that's great. But at least don't set these rules up if you're just going to automatically break them. It took me out of it a lot because it was like, I don't know what the rules of this are. I don't care.
There's no rules to this.
With Nightmare on Elm Street, you're asleep. He gets you in your dreams. That's great. Until he gets out. That makes sense. You have... Back on track. He has his rules set up in the first movie. He can only get you when you're asleep.
Yeah.
That's great. If you want to make a second one and say, oh, but what if he gets out? That's perfectly fine. You give him a way to get out. He possesses somebody, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But don't belittle your audience's intelligence by saying, well, power's out. Oh, but TVs work. Oh, that door doesn't lock, but it can now. Oh, the office of a high school isn't locked up at night? Of course this place is locked up at night. They hold student records.
Yes. But, I don't know, the thing is, this movie didn't feel like a slasher. It didn't feel at all like a slasher. It felt literally like a paranormal activity. Found footage films are typically ghost films. And I feel like that's another reason why he won't join the slasher group, is because he's not a slasher. He's a ghost.
I think like I said, what they're trying to do is a modern day slasher.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, I think he's going to be left in the modern day.
Yep, and that's it.
Yeah,
I like the movie. I just don't see Charlie having any more reason to kill.
Go into it for a fun horror movie. Don't go into it for a slasher movie, I don't think.
Yeah,
I think the trailer set it up for disappointment.
That's what it was. Because I was going in saying, okay, this guy's going to be a new slasher. But he's not. He's not a slasher at all. He's just trying to kill the kids who want to ruin his dream.
It's a possession, spirit, whatever it is, Blair Witch activity.
That's exactly what it is.
Apollo, whatever. And I think what it's suffering from is the all too common problem with movies where they try to make something that lasts for the generation, but not for the long haul. It reminded me a lot of in the 90s where everything was radical and far out, dude, and it didn't hold up.
It didn't hold up. This is not going to hold up.
I think this is a phase, and I think it is trying to escape that, but we've been stuck in it so long we don't know how.
Alright, so if Hollywood, you're watching this, if you want to make...
All of Hollywood.
If all of Hollywood was watching this, if you want to make Charlie a household name up there with Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers, and Leatherface, Candyman. Candyman's not really relevant anymore. Change it to cinematic style. Drop the found footage.
Absolutely.
And kind of give him a reason to become a slasher.
Let him kill. Let him get to the point where maybe he hears his wife's applause and he realizes, hey, that's not enough.
That's not enough. That would be good.
I want to be known.
He wants to be
I died for this role. I want the Gallows to live in infamy. I want the name of Charlie Grimmel.
Charlie Grimmel.
Charlie Grimmel. Well, it's already forgettable. Charlie Grimmel to live in fear in the hearts of everyone. Let him do that. Let him be here. He's got his, I'm going to assume daughter. He's got his hand, goes up, comes down. She comes up on a noose. There you go. There's no need for this weird setup. Only way I can see him taking it further is, oh, the family's going to finish it. And I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
If we're gonna have Charlie, let it be Charlie.
Don't bring.
And let it be a slasher movie.
I mean, the closest thing, I mean, if you do bring in his family, you're just doing Leatherface style, where, like, it's Leatherface and his family. Which is, I mean, it's a good idea, because then you got more people just as crazy as the Charlie guy. But Charlie's also, you know, Charlie's dead.
I don't know. I felt like they were riding the coattails of these big names. They're like, oh, he's great, but then Charlie, ooh. I don't care.
That's it, yeah.
I don't care.
Like, if you go to see this movie as a paranormal movie, you won't be disappointed. It'll be pretty good. But if you're going to this movie as a slasher film, you're gonna be disappointed.
Absolutely. It's fun to see audience reactions. That was enjoyable.
That is enjoyable.
There was a woman sitting next to us that at one point I stopped watching the movie because I saw a scare coming. I just was like, I'm gonna half watch this out of the corner of my eye, but I don't want to watch her jump. Mm-hmm. And jump she did.
Jump she did.
It was enjoyable.
So Hollywood, I mean, you either go for paranormal or you go for slasher. You don't advertise for a slasher and expect people to go watch a paranormal film.
And don't assume your movie's going to be the greatest thing ever.
No.
Don't assume that your character's automatically going to be in the greats. Let the audience decide that. Let us decide. Charlie is going to be a great slasher. We shouldn't be we shouldn't automatically be shown these other names, because then we're just comparing it.
Yeah.
And by far, Freddy, Jason, Leatherface are all far better slashers than Charlie.
In my opinion, if Charlie is a slasher, he'll be up there with the ranks of Maniac Cop. Do you remember him?
Who?
Exactly. Maniac Cop was an old movie. I think there was only 3 of them made, and what it was about was just a cop that killed people. Like, I mean, like, you're supposed to bring fear to the police force. I mean, if he's gonna be a slasher, he's not gonna be well known that way. Especially,
I could see him falling into a B-list, a Candyman, a Chucky kind of area.
I would say C-list, if anything.
Yeah.
Because B-list, I mean, everyone knows. A lot of people know Chucky. A lot of people know Candyman. He would go down there with Maniac Cop, Charlie Grimmel right there. If we're gonna make a list, Jason, Freddy, Michael, and Leatherface are up here. Candyman, Chucky, and Ghostface are like right here. Charlie. Charlie's on the bottom of the list. He's not going to be remembered. Very few people will remember him. If anything.
I think if they do try to make it a memorable series, they need to take a step back and remove some stuff. Go back to the classic formula if you're going to make it classic, or go completely either far left or far right. Yeah. Go either completely throwback or completely modern. Don't sell it as one and then give us another. That's if I'm coming shopping for an apple, don't sell me an orange. That's not what I'm here for.
Okay, drop the found footage film. Give him more of a reason to kill.
Stop making everything red.
Stop making everything red.
That hurt my eyes.
Yeah, like an example being.
Is red Charlie's favorite color? I don't know.
I think it might be, but an example being the new Jason movie that's coming out, I believe in 2016. There was a big fear that people had because they were talking about making a found footage film.
No.
But immediately the guys were like, nope, it's not a found footage film, which is really good. Because imagine Jason in found footage film. You'd barely see him the whole time. The whole point of these slasher films is you're not seeing the thought of him being there. You're not seeing Jason, the thought of him there. Like that, and they did that in the first film, but only because it wasn't Jason. It was supposed to be the big twist at the end. Like, the reason why we make slasher films is because you go to see these characters. Like, you go to see Nightmare on Elm Street for Freddy. You don't go to see, the thought of Freddy. You go to see Robert Englund being his best.
We're going for slashing, not for the idea of it. It's a slasher film for a reason.
Yeah, you go to see... I go to see Friday the 13th because I want to see, how does Jason kill today? What does he do this time? Leatherface, whose face is he going to put on this movie? Michael?
The Joker's.
The Joker's face. Michael, why not? Yeah, it's just like that. I mean, but all in all, Charlie's not going to be a household name.
Alright, if you had to give it blank nooses out of 10, how many nooses you giving it?
I'd give it about 7 nooses.
Okay.
How many would you get?
I would say 6.5 nooses out of 10.
6.5 nooses.
I would say if you're into this genre, go see it. If you're into slashers, go see it with a grain of salt.
Uh-huh.
If you want a scary movie, it was fun.
It was fun.
It was a fun ride.
It's a fun, scary movie.
And if you've been disappointed by found footage films in the past, maybe go see this one, because it doesn't look like they're going away anytime soon.
But anyway, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe it, put it all over the internet somewhere to kind of help us out. And
let us know if you want to see more movie reviews, more slasher talk, more of us sitting behind Resident Evil.
Again, it's a pretty cool background. This might be the official background. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and as always, we will see you at the movies.
Or the comic shop. Be sure to watch comic commentary. I gotta plug my own thing.
Alright, bye guys.
Bye.